to Sound On. Sound On brings you all of the Boulder County music news, who's playing where and when. We also bring you exclusive artist interviews, jam sessions, album releases, and more. If you're an artist or venue and would like to get your show featured on Sound On Podcast, email us info@soundonpodcast.com. I'm one of your hosts, David Ford, and joining me is Mr. Tim Ostdiek.
Howdy! How you doing, Dave?
I'm doing very well. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. Man, that is some groovy intro music.
Thank you. That's the pod-safe music.
Pod-safe?
Yes, that's right. It has its own brand.
You guys should have come and seen us in the studio for this one, because Dave was doing some nice air drums. I was slapping the bass. Simon was giving us some great air meows.
And our studio audience was too.
Let's hear from our studio audience now.
Yes, that's right. Next week, we got Kyle Donovan going to be here in studio to talk about his new album as well as his Kickstarter campaign that he's going to be putting out in the next few days. And we are really excited about that.
I think it's going to be a great little chat. Really looking forward to talking to him.
Yeah, me too. Let's get into some music news.
Sweet. Looks like Wednesday, November 14th. At East Moon Sushi in Longmont, Colorado, we've got Andy Eppler and Antonio Lopez at 5 p.m.
And at Still Cellars, it's MoJazz Duo at 6:30 p.m. And then at Hodi's Half Note in Fort Collins, it's The Fritz with Bill Smith at 9 p.m.
Moving on to Thursday, November 15th at the Tasty Weasel, the Vegabonds are playing at 6 p.m. Then at St. Vrain Cidery, we've got Djeff and Djessy, both with a D, at 6 p.m.
At Your Mom's House in Denver, Mad Dog Blues Band is playing at 7 p.m. And at License Number 1 in Boulder is the George Nelson Band at 9 p.m., as well as Tim Ostdiek playing at Bitto Bistro at 6 p.m.
Then Friday, November 16th at Lyons, Oskar Blues, Bonnie and the Clydes at 8 p.m. Oh, Bonnie and the Clydes at the Lion Oskar Blues. If you haven't seen that show and you are on the Front Range, then you should.
You're going to want to see that.
You're going to want to see them.
At CHUBurger the same night, Friday the 16th, Valerie Bhat is playing at 6 p.m. and Native Station at Grossen Bart at 7 p.m.
Then at the Rialto Theater in Loveland, we've got the Long Run, the Eagles tribute band, at 7 p.m. Then at the Roost in Longmont, Timber at 8 p.m.
At Berthoud Brewing, it's Amanda Coate at 6 p.m. And at Swing Station in LaPorte, Colorado, the Wyatts are playing at 9 p.m. At the Elizabeth Hotel in Fort Collins, Grant Gordy with Mark Sloniker and friends at 7 p.m.
Then at the Wild Game in Longmont, we've got Wash Park at 8 p.m. Then at the Moose Lodge, we've got Highway Robbery at 7:30. Be careful.
Don't get robbed. The Tasty Weasel, Famous Men at 4:30 p.m. At E-Town in Boulder, it's Ryan Montblow with Andrew Sturtz and Detchen Hawk, and that's at 8 p.m.
Then at License Number 1 Bar in Boulder, we've got David Williams. And also in Boulder at the Laughing Goat, Taylor Shea will be playing at 8 p.m. And the last show we've got on our list for Friday at Oskar Blues in Boulder is Felonious Smith Trio at 7:30 p.m.
On Saturday the 17th, at the Old Gallery, it's Songwriters in the Round at Allens Park, Colorado. Antonio Lopez, Kyle Donovan, and Jessica Eppler at 7 p.m.
Then on Saturday at 300 Suns, there is a fundraiser for Soundbridge Music, a nonprofit working to support musicians in Longmont that will feature me, Tim Ostdiek, Scott Ramser, Carolyn Hunter, and I think Ali Chipkin's also going to show up and give us a couple songs. That's at 6 p.m., running until 9 p.m. There's great beer, and there will be a silent auction, so if you need some stuff and want to help out Soundbridge,
Definitely help out Soundbridge. At the Tasty Weasel, it's the 16th annual Canniversary show with Peak to Peak, The Lonesome Days, Bonnie and the Clydes, and Gasoline Lollipops are headlining. At the Laughing Goat, it's Women in Song featuring Jaquita Straw, Emily Drew, and Shannon Address at 8 p.m.
Then at Vision Quest Brewery in Boulder, Bobby Blair Band album release party at 6 p.m. And at the Speakeasy, Crick Wooder at 8:30 p.m.
At the No Name Bar, it's Infamy at 10 p.m. At Berthoud Brewing, Fortel's playing at 6 p.m. At E-Town in Boulder, Jill Subel and Darren Garvey are playing at 7 p.m.
And Oskar Blues Lyons, we've got the Tangled Senses, just Tangled Senses at 8 p.m. And Oskar Blues Boulder, we've got the Al Capones at 8 p.m. Then at the Wild Game in Longmont, we've got the Joe Cool Band also at 8 p.m.
At the Roost, it's Idlewild at 8:30 p.m. At Dannick's Gun Barrel Corner Bar, it's Maynard Mills Blues Band at 7:30 p.m. And for our last show on Saturday night at License Number 1 in Boulder, Banshee Tree's playing at 9 p.m., which I would highly recommend seeing.
They're a great band. Then Sunday, November 18th at Java Stop in Longmont, Chili Americana will be playing, and that is the first time they've had music there. So let's give them some support and hope that turns into a great new venue. At the Old Mine, we've got Shannon Address at 6 p.m. At the Tasty Weasel, we've got Fox Feather Duo at 6 p.m.
At Oskar Blues in Longmont on Sunday, it's Bluegrass Brunch at 10 a.m. At E-Town, Vienna Tang is at 7 p.m. And at St. Vrain Cidery in Longmont here with McPherson's live music is at 4 p.m.
At Left Hand Brewing, we've got the Dutch and Hawk Trio at 4:30. And at Laughing Goat in Boulder, we've got three magical music mamas at 8 p.m.
And then on Tuesday the 20th at the Laughing Goat, it's Miles Wilder, Jenny LaJoy, and Substitute Creature at 8 p.m.
Well, it looks like that is it for our Music for the week. Our guest next week will be Kyle Donovan. And if you're an artist or venue and would like to have your show featured on Sound On Podcast, email us at info@soundonpodcast.com.